This is my 2020 December daily, and I forgot to record it last year, I think because I really was indecisive about whether I was going to make it. I did make it. I do tend to make my December daily during the month of December, just so I don't have to think about it after that, and I can just enjoy it day by day. I try to do a lot of pre-planning in advance and page setup, which I haven't done yet this year, but that's coming. So I did some hauls last year about where I got the different stuff, but it's all either from Allie Edwards or scrapbook.com. I use a lot of crepe paper, so I'm not going to go over what products they are, but I'm just going to do a flip through. This is my cover page, and my goal last year was to be intentional. So just with it being 2020 and a lot of the traditional things not happening, I wanted to intentionally try to bring as much normal into my holiday as possible. I always do a calendar each year where I write down what I do each day. A lot of years I start with my card because I like to send them out on the 1st, and I definitely will not send a card out on the 1st if I'm doing something else, just so I can write about it on the 2nd if that's what's going to come. But I make a list of who I receive cards from and generally who I send them to, and then I try to save just a copy of my card just so I can see what it was that I sent. So, and then I create another little album for the people that send me cards. I take their cards and put it into an album, but I think I have a different video about that. So pinned them in together, made this little pocket out of my sewing machine. On the back, I like to have pages kind of match. So on the back, I just put a big 2. Add this little snowflake here that was from Hobby Lobby. And then what I did the second day was a cookie exchange at work. So took a picture of my cookies, included the recipe. This little card has my write-up. Then this was an example or a sample of all the different cookies that I got that year. We do 2 cookies and the recipe attached so that you don't go home with 30 dozen, but you go home with a good samplings and you get to try some new recipes. This one was getting the Christmas tree on the 3rd. I put a little snippet of the Christmas tree there. I saw it a couple years ago and I really liked it. And I actually typed right on the photo. Again, another overlay just so the whites match within here, dark blacks. So right here, on the back of this one, I had a tag where I wrote about it. She went to celebrate my friends. Got a new job at a different school, so we went out to celebrate that night for that. Right here, went to Waco. Again, here's a little tag where I wrote up about it on the back. I don't think it's anything. Whoops, pull the other one out. It's anything special. I did add a little photo there too, just because they had magnolia decorated really cute. And, you know, it's about photos too, but also about the story. Here, just went to look at Christmas lights. This little tag right here, I just wrote about it. I did both sides for that. Right here, talked about wrapping Christmas gifts. Again, I have a little paperclip pinning these tags in. Made a little side pocket there. Ooh, it's been a year since I've opened this. So you got, I'll try to pull it out. A little stuck. This is where I always discover what's not going to make it if I don't go back and redo it. So, did the photo of my tree decorated and then wrote about it there. And obviously, I'm going to go back in and remake that pocket a little bit sturdier, a little bit more user-friendly. So, that was day 7. Day 8, I really like these overlays. So this is a lot of blank space, but that was my intention. So I wrote about it here. I think went to some old neighborhoods we used to live in, my mom and I, and just wrote about kind of Christmas past and those memories. And I loved these overlays from last year. Here's day 9. I used this as a pocket that came with the kit, or maybe I bought an extra. And I wrote about some stuff going on at work, like different events we were having, and some shirts I made for one of those events. Here's a 10, and what I did is I made a flip out here, and it was a Zoom Bible study. So day 11, I really like this one. I went into Dallas and did just some, my family's originally from Dallas, some different things that we did those days. And again, I made this little pocket out of a clear paper that I got somewhere like Hobby Lobby or Joann's. Then just because these were greens and reds, I just made this one page blank with joy so that this page I could turn into this blue scene. This went to the Promise of Christmas at Glen Rose, and so it's kind of a whole day event. Took one of those 12 by 12 pockets, sliced off half of them, put like pieces of the program, pictures from the day, and then some little pieces about what was going on. 13 was just about church, did a little write-up, and just slipped it behind the thing, but I put a tab so I would know it was there. 14, oh, I did some crafts on Good Morning Texas. On the back of this is just a picture. 15, made some, I think I wrote out, I didn't necessarily make all these that day, but I brought some gifts, homemade gifts to different friends. So we're about doing that year. Here I went out with girls' night, and 17, I talked about, I made this stocking last year, and some old and new stockings in our house. And I just talked about the kind of the traditions of our stockings, so that's a whole other story, but I just shared it there. Anyway, and I made this little pocket. It's the same transparent piece of paper, and I made it into a stocking shape. And actually I used this on Good Morning Texas when I did the stocking craft, and I put some silverware in it, but then I turned it into, added some tabs and turned it into my scrapbook page when I was done with that. Again, another overlay just so I could take these golds and reds and turn them into blues on this page. We did Polar Express at my school. I like to do these little hidden pockets, and I try to, like, I know to look for them, but really I'm telling the story for myself and my family. So here we just did some different things around Dallas, North Park. Again, took some photos, wrote about them on the back. Here was church, our get together. 21st was real simple, just this little tag I bought. Got our nails done, my mom and I, and then the Christmas star. That was a big deal that year. Again, another overlay, grays and black, so I could turn it into this. Right here, I'm not going to pull this out, but basically it's a little flap I cut out of the photo. You just take it and you flip it up, and there's the story of that day. Made another little pocket out of just a piece of scrapbook paper, and then slipped this little tag inside. And right here I talked about these little gingerbread cookies that we get every Christmas from Steiny's local bakery. This one, I took a piece of 3x4 of these pages that come with the Allie Edwards and taped it in so that I could add a little tag. And that's Christmas Eve. Sorry. So, 25th, what I've started doing is buying these pockets, and then like this one, there's the story on one of these longer cards, the 3x8 maybe, 3x8 cards, told the story of Christmas Day, put some photos in there, put some samples of wrapping paper from Christmas. 26th, I think I did, 26 and 27. So this, I do the whole month of December, but I try to, some days are not as exciting. So I talked about this little cup tradition my mom and I have, put on a tag there. And then here, did book club. The 28th, I just did some of the different decorations around the house before I took them down. 29th, met some friends, told the story. So again, just took some scrapbook paper, sewed both sides, made a pocket that this could slip into. And I like to do like different sizes, like full page, half page, small page, just to make it more interesting. 30th, I turned my Christmas tree into a New Year's tree, this little one that I decorate like angels. I wrote about that here. And I put like some different vintage like blowers on it and some little poppers and stuff like that. And because I hosted a little family get together for Christmas or for New Year's Eve. New Year's Eve we got together and played games, but I took a picture of we did some FaceTime with some friends, or not friends, family, and Jonathan turned himself into an avatar while he was FaceTiming. So I took a photo of the phone while we were talking to him, and then a piece of the domino set that we were playing. And then right here, I put different, I've been doing this for years too, I put different news stories from the year, and again, use another one of these little pockets. So that is my 2020. I'm going to put this away and start prepping my 2021.